Alright, hello. Yeah, I'm making this video. The TikTok app stuff is probably set for horror and stuff. So some of like the movies and stuff, they make like certain horror happenings. Somehow there could be horror settings now. But I would just pray still. So I would still just think to pray and everything. But like I'm still on my period and everything. Look how my head is looking. So, but now even if I were to think about the TikTok, what would I even think to guess if it could be horror happening with it? Then I would think I try to think I wouldn't want to think to argue about it. If I were to talk about it, I want to think about it like structurally about it. Now I wouldn't try to argue about it to think to figure about it, figure it out and stuff. So like when I had the marijuana, I've been having like small doses and stuff. Then I had a bigger dose of it, a little bit. Like honestly, because I said, well, let me try to have a little bit more. I just been taking bites and everything, and then there was some type of like the energy went back to whatever, like not normal ass energy that had been for like a long time and stuff. But now I don't want to argue that up and stuff anymore. Because I noticed some of the stuff has not been regular. But now it's still just to think to guess what could ever go on. And try to think about that. Or if somebody could feel they could, if they wanted to do that. But I don't know. Whatever, like people things with the car stuff, I think there's like whatever not normal ass energy people things. So even if whoever was near them and stuff. But then I start talking about stuff, then I think, but the thing says not even regular and stuff. I wouldn't want to be near any of the things, regardless of what they would ever think ever, if ever. So I wouldn't want to be near any of the things and stuff. I just think they's awful and stuff. They's not normal. Whatever, like not normal ass people things. But who cares and stuff? It's more so horror. But I've already said everything I think's most shocking and stuff and everything. So now I'm just gonna keep guessing. I don't even know or whatever anymore what to even guess and stuff right now. God didn't have marijuana got me. So let me try and think. Let me cut this fan off, like I'm really cold and stuff. I guess I'll just play, let me guess what I can guess and stuff. I don't know what to talk about or whatever. I don't know. Because like now I don't know. But I don't think I'm stressing it, but maybe I could think I could try to guess the things I'm about. To think to see if I can do it. But maybe I should try to rest. Oof. So, but now if I make these videos, like, I don't know if I'm making them for myself or not, but the stuff does seem shocking. Then maybe I do feel somebody could see these videos, but now at the same time, I don't even know to argue this stuff anymore. I don't want to think to argue what somebody does or whatever, even if somebody might do something or whatever. To think I gotta say, oh, somebody just do whatever. I could just think like, what the hell? what's gonna go on. But I think I'll be living. I don't know what's gonna go on. I don't know. Cause like me being on the phone when I had a marijuana, I can't be on the phone that long and stuff. Then if I think, ooh, the pictures look good and stuff, let me try to make a video of it and stuff to show about it, which I could think could be good and stuff. Then I feel shocking. Then it make me feel insane and stuff. It's just not fake, and then I do feel insane and stuff. It just make me go insane. But then when I use this phone, I had a marijuana, it do make bother my head and stuff for real. And that shit is not fake. So I don't know what the hell gonna go on. But what it is, they just gotta have the shit set separate with the racism and stuff now. So that's it. I don't know. That's the only thing. If anything's for horror to happen, it's just supposed to. If anything's just not good ever. And somebody think that they gotta think to fight for their life or some shit, whether it's horror shit or whether they think they ever should think to cuss up or speak out or whatever the fuck to say something. The most for horror stuff is just if someone was just so horror and somebody know that and they don't have to argue to cuss and stuff. I don't have to think to argue to cuss about anything out or whatever. Even if I could think maybe there could be horror, I don't have to think I have to say that. But I don't have to think even if I did that that's not fake or whatever, or to think, oh, not about it or whatever. But in my spirit, I just don't want to think I'm arguing so much or whatever. But like if I am saying anything at all, I just don't want to think argue. Or like think I'm like upset or something. Or thinking like in rude thinking or something. So I'm just gonna end this video and stuff. If anybody can see me, I know I'm good in everything, so I just will only continue to pray. And that's just not fake. So that's all. So I don't know if these messages, these phone videos could be messages or something. I actually don't know. I know I didn't see shocking ass videos and stuff a little, and seen some movies that's shocking. But I don't know. I'm just really quiet. I don't know if I'm thinking for something that's so shocking. But on the low, I feel like this is for some shocking now. But then at the same time, I don't know. God feels so shocking. Because even if I might see anything shocking, if my energy spirit has been like quiet and everything, but maybe I look at things in a good way and stuff. So I'm just gonna continue to pray. But these videos might be for shocking now. But now that's just wouldn't, even if that could ever happen. Now what if I could think about anybody else, and then what if I could think, oh, somebody maybe a shocking message. Would that be true? Then even if I could think, could that be true? Even to think about that, to maybe think they guess it, I would think, oh, if that was, that would be scary or something. I would think, what the hell? But it wouldn't be funny or whatever. So now whatever the stuff is with the phone stuff, the stuff is gonna be set off the people things. So this shit's not gonna be good or whatever. I don't know. But even still, if somebody ever said it could be whatever horror setting stuff with the phone stuff, now the stuff would just ever be the most horror ever. What the hell? Because then somebody don't have to think. Because then what if somebody says, oh God, what the hell would go on? And then somebody would just think, well, damn, someone would go be horror and stuff. So I don't know what the hell's gonna go on. But I got a fucking headache. But the phone shit is not good. Then that other phone, that shit is not funny and stuff. But maybe the stuff will be horror. And I have been thinking horror thinkings, which is not fake. I've been thinking for shocking has horror thinkings. But I don't even think they's that shocking to cuss or whatever to somebody or whatever. What the hell? But I don't know and stuff. I'm not trying to argue with anybody. But what it is, I know I'm good in everything. And I know I done seen shocking happenings. But I still wouldn't want to think to cuss about that to somebody. I would only just pray to God. Because even in my energy I feel right now, I feel stressed out and stuff. I think, damn, should I think to keep making this video and stuff? Because how my head is feeling. But then at the same time, then I think, oh, should I think making a video is good or not? But this stuff ain't never been long, oh, whatever. Then even so, it's too shocking. I already know I done said for if anything, arguing stuff is just a racism only. But the stuff, if they said the elite stuff, and if I were to even try to think, even if the stuff could be horror, like, it's too shocking now. I feel like, damn, I don't even know what to guess. Even still, because I feel shocking. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's the thing to look at stuff. However, whatever. If I look at stuff, I would only just guess stuff up or whatever. I don't know. But now the stuff is not funny and stuff. But now, what do you think now? What it is now? Anything might be shocking for real. And I do believe things could go on and stuff. But right now, I feel so shocked and I don't know what to even say or whatever. So, what it is, I wouldn't dismiss if anything has been said a certain way and stuff. I just feel really shocking and stuff. But now, whatever stuff that might be for horror thinking stuff, some of the horror thinking stuff probably gonna start happening. Mm. But now with the marijuana, what does somebody think now? Because what if somebody, what it is now, I don't want to argue stuff. The stuff is supposed to be regular. But hasn't the stuff been regular? So, but now even if somebody said it's they send meltdown energy at times if they do have marijuana, what would somebody think about that? Would somebody think? What would they think about that? Would somebody just pray? Maybe somebody would just pray, start praying, or maybe somebody would start thinking about something. And looking at those food pictures, like if I think about it, I probably can't put into words maybe to try to describe what I think instantly, maybe. But maybe I can or could ever. But realistically, I just look at the food and I just start looking at food. But this stuff has been set maybe a certain way or whatever. But I don't know or whatever. It just seemed like when people was doing, however, then I sit and stuff. So nobody gonna think of no breakdown thinking. Then even so, if not, then whoever didn't say something. Maybe somebody's acting how everybody's acting, moving their arms around. But there hasn't been anything like happening and stuff. So there's one TV show that I was on that I seen years ago and I watched and stuff when I was younger. And I could say I liked that show and stuff. And I didn't think anything hateful so much. But now, whatever show that's on and what show that's on, I wouldn't want to even go in the living room to even see it beyond the TV because I feel too shocked and I don't know what's going on now. I don't know. It's more so horror and stuff. I don't want to think for anything horrible. What the hell? No, that's just not fake or whatever. I don't know what the hell's gonna go on. But I don't have time to guess up any stuff or whatever so much or whatever. What the hell? I don't know what the fucking guess up or whatever. Yeah, if somebody's watching this video and is hearing the sound, if somebody can't, animals that's up in the ceiling, it's a certain type of animals. There's a bat animal, the bats. What the hell? The hell they got going on? I sure as fuck don't know. Look, now look. Ooh. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm just fucking kidding. That could go on if somebody used their phone and stuff, but I'm not guessing this up. Okay, yeah, six. Somebody gonna go insane with the phone stop. What the hell? How the hell is that possible? What the hell? That ain't funny or whatever. Because now in my energy, I think, how the hell would anybody guess that? And it's too shocking and stuff. Then somebody say, damn, forget about it. Because the stuff is so shocking, probably. That's what happens with the marijuana stuff. Yeah, like the marijuana. I don't know what's going on and stuff. Because then when somebody had marijuana, they might not even think about anything really. Yeah, like I'm having extra marijuana. Now I feel really sleepy. I would show like videos when they have like they gotta have universal television, they gotta have ultra TV. They supposed to just have all the TVs be out that exists and stuff realistically at this point, truly. All the TV providers and stuff. So they're supposed to have Ultra TV and a Cupcake TV, Universal Television and stuff. They're supposed to have Amazon TV, Apple TV, Snake TV. They're supposed to have Sun TV. They're supposed to have Sunshine TV. They're supposed to have Sun Phone. They're supposed to have Sunshine Phone. They're supposed to have Snake Phone. Then they're supposed to have Snake TV, Snake Phone and stuff, Snake Computer and stuff, and Snake Cable, Snake Wi-Fi, Cupcake Wi-Fi, Internet connections. So they're supposed to have Sleeping Channel, Sleeping Network, but now it's like sleep, and then it's how many channels for sleeping and stuff. So the stuff gonna go on a whole bunch of stuff, but now it's supposed to be just show people sleeping, or somebody can sleep and everything. So I would turn this video into going to sleep video. So just how I made what I said in the other videos I made. I said, oh, I'm gonna do mukbang, or I'm gonna make grilled cheese sandwich, or so I'm gonna make waffles and sausage, and then I did. So, but I would think to make sleeping videos and just go to sleep. Honestly, but they supposed to have like TV like that, and then some people sleepers for their job. That's how they make money. Sleeping. So that person might sleep like me. Like let's say, what did I do? I got food and everything. I ate food, and I did get my hair done, and I relaxed and stuff and watched some movie, a little bit of movie and stuff, a little. And I don't even know if I took a nap or not, but I've kind of been relaxing. So now my job, now if I say, oh God, I gotta go to work, what do I do for my work job? I say, oh, I'm gonna go sleep. but that's something that's regular. But people would, what it is, if people are seen doing anything, that's kind of low-key their position, low-key. That's how they existing and they's living, whatever they's being seen looking, or whatever somebody's doing. So even still, if a bitch did work at a medical job, that bitch is still existing out. Even when the bitch is not at work and stuff. That's why, but what it is, people can think to talk about stuff with the work and stuff. If a bitch did work medical, that's just not fake. What it is just a lot of stuff goes on. You know what I mean? Because somebody can think, oh, the labeling is what the bitch do for the job. But that bitch is still living. If the bitch is off work, after the bitch get off work, the bitch is still alive. What the hell? So do you know what I mean? So then what could I think to even say after that? And then what did I even just say? Or what was I saying? I don't remember now. I'm not sure now. I actually kind of did forget. But somehow somebody do this, somebody could do that. Or if somebody said anything, then maybe they do it, or somebody think about what they might would do or something. I think something like that. I think the phone's like on low battery and stuff. It's actually not. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need a dollar bill to have fun tonight. I'm not gonna fucking say this. that whole said or whatever. Damn, I can't even try to fucking scroll on the phone to look at a song or whatever. I only got the camera stuff going and stuff. But now the stuff seemed too psychotic and stuff. If I were to put on the CSI Miami, I would think, what the hell's gonna go on or whatever. If I were to think to put on the CSI Miami, but to think if I were to put it on and watch it, what would I think to start thinking about? What it is, like things haven't been happening so much and stuff out here. But even if I could try to think for things to happen up, it seems shocking and stuff to think to try and do it and stuff. But what it is, it's like it's like more so a no. an energy that's of me that I feel like I already know and everything. But then I guess when I start to think and stuff, maybe I want to try and think to say everything up and everything. But my eyeballs and stuff is like sensitive and stuff. So the marijuana is more so like not funny and stuff. The shit's not funny. It's more so like not funny at all. Cause ain't no way to know what will, I don't know what would happen if somebody had a marijuana gummy. You heard what I said? I think this stuff seems so. I think now this stuff seems so shocking with the marijuana. If somebody have a marijuana gummy or something, they could go insane forever or something about it. If the marijuana turned for like horror, to say if some could be shocking with the marijuana, but to say somebody would stay like shocking like and stuff, that would not be funny. That is not funny. Cause now that's what the stuff seemed like. But to think if somebody had a marijuana gummy, or like somebody would go, so how somebody, okay, this is what it seems like. Let's say somebody said, oh, they're gonna have a marijuana gummy. This is what I just think. This is what I'm just gonna talk up. So let's say somebody said they have a marijuana gummy. What do I think about that if I were to start talking about that? Thinking about marijuana gummy? I would think somebody could have marijuana gummy, and then maybe within a certain time period, soon within their body, they'll feel a certain way. Within maybe how they feel in their body, and maybe they thinking, and how they feel in their attitude. So, but I feel that's true. But then I think, oh, that might just be for a good amount of a time, or it could be a deep, heavy happening about that. So I just think what it is, I might not have been thinking to cuss so much about no drug time, thinking to think, oh, should I think, oh, if I had a drugs, it would feel like this for so many hours, or this would be this way for so many hours or something, or however. Like I'm not trying to think to guess if I had a marijuana gummy, how long, or do I even think? What if I really think in general? Oh, would somebody stay high for forever or something? But the marijuana is more so like some type of shocking, not shocking. So it's more so to think for shocking about it. So if somebody were to take scissors and cut their eyeball and snip at their eyeball, what the hell would that do or something? That wouldn't be funny probably. So somebody might still be breathing. But something like that is more so shocking like. That is not funny. So that's why with the marijuana gummy, I don't know if even if there was a marijuana spirit, and I think now, if there was a marijuana energy spirit that could be a person, a living person, I think if somebody had a whole marijuana gummy, one of them assassin gummies, they would go insane for sharking. And it would just be like that. And it might not even be so much to argue about the gummy. To think, to maybe even talk about it, but not to think that wouldn't be or whatever. But it's more so like if somebody's just in the shocking ass energy, what will go on? Would they talk about the gummy? But I think that like marijuana has been maybe looked at like, oh, somebody, oh, and stuff. I more so feel like shocking. I feel very shocking. So, but I still look to have the marijuana and stuff. But my energy attitude, like I'm not like cussing up and stuff, and I don't feel like I'm in cussing up energy. shoot that I'm in right now, and even other past times I've been just thinking a lot. I just think, oh, this and that. It's not fake and stuff, even when I've had the marijuana joints. So the marijuana joints is not funny, and it's different types of them, and it depend on the marijuana, and it depend on the marijuana joint. It's very scary, the marijuana joints. Then the marijuana vapes, that's not funny. That's more so like numbing and gnawing energy badly. That's not funny. That is more so very not funny. What about the nicotine vapes now? For me, when I've had them in these times and stuff, it just made me feel shock for like in my body. And I feel not good and stuff. Because maybe the sugar or whatever, that nicotine, I feel shocky. And then I gotta lay down and it's not funny. I might not feel like, I'm like feeling like, oh, because I feel shocked. Like, and now my eyeballs hurting me and stuff. And then like my foot is hanging over my leg. Like how I'm sitting and stuff. So like before when my foot was really first hurt bad and stuff, my foot was sensitive and stuff. But it's gotten better and stuff. But still it's like sensitive. It is and stuff. But I can still walk around, thankfully, and everything. But now, how do I feel? Now I don't know what to guess or whatever. Now I'm just thinking and stuff. But like my eyeball and shit, that ain't funny and shit. When my eyeball is pulling. But the most horror stuff is all that filling out all that paperwork stuff. Or if something go on and somebody say, oh, call whoever, or do this, oh, go here, you gotta, oh, after this, then you gotta go back wherever 2 times, oh, you gotta go there that day, oh, then you gotta go there that day again, oh, then you gotta go get this after that. What the hell? That shit is not good. They had that shit like that at the school stuff, for all that cafeteria stuff. They said, oh, you gotta do this, then you gotta do that, then you gotta do this, then you gotta do that. What the hell? So what it is now, that manager thing from that school shit, they would probably want to fucking break their neck or whatever. That shit is probably not fucking fake. Even for horror. Even if I think that's cussing or not. They would probably want to fucking kill themselves. They sure as fuck wouldn't act like they get excited and stuff. But why do you think that shouldn't be or whatever? If they was already so tough and stuff. Oh, excuse me, like my finger and stuff. But I like watching movies and stuff. But I do feel very shocking. But if I were to look at anything on the TV, it would be shocking. So it's not funny and stuff. I would think it's too shocking. Even if it's a movie I know I didn't see, I would think, oh god, I would think shocking about it or whatever. If the Finding Nemo movie was on in there, I would think, oh wow. But who would I think right now? Myself, I think, dang. I would say, oh, let me look for how I feel right now, because now something's going on. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm actually gonna end this video.